A national hero breaks down in tears on international television. He vehemently insists he would rather die than betray his country. Yet by October 2000, the reality on paper told a completely different story. The Central Bureau of Investigation released its final report into cricket match fixing. The document handed down severe, career-ending bans to several prominent Indian players. But it explicitly cleared the man on the television. Kapil Dev was issued a total legal exoneration. This happened even though he was the primary target of a synchronized 90-location police raid, and his initials were discovered alongside millions of rupees in underground betting ledgers. To understand how India's biggest cricket star walked away completely free, we have to examine the specific gap between a mountain of circumstantial suspicion and the rigid requirements of legal proof. This disconnect between what the public suspected and what the law could verify became the defining feature of the scandal, shifting the way the nation viewed its sporting legends. Let's wind back to the late 1980s. The public adoration from the 1983 World Cup victory was beginning to fracture. Fans and pundits started noticing bizarre decisions on the field. During the 1987 World Cup semifinal against England, the Indian management inexplicably left a glaring gap in the field. English batsman Graham Gooch repeatedly played sweep shots into a completely unguarded area, racking up uncontested runs to eliminate India. Even Gooch admitted he was surprised by the absent fielders. Then came a 1991 match against Pakistan. Chasing 258, India was in a dominant position when natural light faded. Under the rules of the era, walking off the field would have guaranteed an Indian victory via revised calculations. Instead, management instructed the batsmen to stay out in the dark. India suffered a sudden batting collapse and lost the match by 4 runs. The oddities peaked during the 1999 Ahmedabad Test. After scoring 583 runs in the first innings, coach Kapil Dev unilaterally refused to enforce a standard follow-on against New Zealand. It was a baffling tactical decision, one that underground bookmakers reportedly knew about a full 24 hours before it happened on the pitch. These decisions enraged fans and defied all conventional sporting logic. But bad sportsmanship or poor tactical judgment on a cricket field is not a punishable crime. The true legal jeopardy began when government investigators started pulling at off-field financial threads in the late 1990s. Look at this entry from a seized underworld diary. During a raid on a businessman named Ramnik Chawla, the Income Tax Department found a secret ledger. Under the initials KD, investigators found an entry for 1.33 crore rupees. The log documented verifiable bank checks, but also an unaccounted 83 lakh rupees in hard cash. Under interrogation, Chawla admitted KD stood for Kapil Dev. Confronted by authorities, Kapil admitted to the bank transfers, claiming they were legitimate business investments. He completely denied receiving the 83 lakhs in cash, dismissing the diary entry as hearsay. Similar overlapping interests appeared in his corporate dealings. Kapil's company secured lucrative stadium floodlight contracts. When the stadium couldn't pay, they compensated him with exclusive advertising rights. Instead of cashing in himself, Kapil routed those rights to a company legally owned by an active Indian player, Ajay Jadeja, and an alleged underground bookie named Hiran Hathi. Investigators also scrutinized unexplained luxury assets. Kapil acquired a prime 100-acre parcel of land well below market rate. The title deeds for this property were not found with Kapil. They were discovered in the commercial office of a former player linked to the betting syndicate. A web of undocumented cash, untraceable foreign gifts, and overlapping business interests created overwhelming suspicion. But critically, investigators lacked a definitive physical receipt linking a specific bookmaker to the manipulation of a specific cricket match. The pressure finally boiled over in June 1997. All-rounder Manoj Prabhakar gave an interview claiming a senior player offered him 25 lakh rupees to intentionally throw a match against Pakistan. Prabhakar initially refused to name the player, but by mid-2000, he collaborated with journalists at Tehelka for a sting operation codenamed The Fallen Heroes. Armed with a hidden buttonhole camera, Prabhakar sought to bypass public denials. The footage was devastating. Legendary players and former managers were caught privately admitting to the hidden camera that Kapil Dev was the individual who offered the bribes. The tapes also captured political leaders, revealing that government officials had initially shielded the guilty players' names from the CBI to protect national morale.
Broadcasting these tapes triggered multi-agency raids. The sting operation set the stage for an ultimate showdown between compelling media evidence and the strict, unforgiving rules of a court of law. In July 2000, a joint task force launched Operation Gentleman. For 38 hours, investigators executed synchronized raids across 90 locations, targeting the elite cricket syndicate. The sweep worked for the wider syndicate. The CBI established clear, direct evidence against several prominent cricketers, resulting in severe, career-ending bans. But the outcome for Kapil Dev, the primary target of the entire operation, was different. Investigators failed to find a definitive physical receipt linking his personal wealth to a specific pre-planned match result. He was protected by an impenetrable legal wall. A name scribbled in a bookie's diary is legally considered hearsay. Hidden camera tapes of private chatter are often inadmissible. Missing modeling contracts point to tax evasion, not match fixing. The justice system is built to punish only what can be definitively proven. Because the investigators could not cross that final legal threshold, the player who faced the most circumstantial suspicion walked away with a clean chit. The aftermath was bitter. Though technically cleared by the government, Kapil Dev was quietly removed from state school textbooks, and civic organizations demanded he return his cash awards and honors. This remains the central paradox of the case. The precise legal mechanisms that protected his freedom simultaneously altered his standing in the eyes of the public. The 2000 scandal left a generation of cricket fans realizing that the matches they followed with total devotion might have been carefully choreographed performances.